Hey guys, Mark Hopkins here. Welcome back to some early on slide discussions. So we've been talking a little bit about different ways to approach beginner slide in standard tuning. Obviously a lot of people play in open tunings. I do both, so I play in standard. I like to have the ability to play some slide in standard, but I also play in open C as well, which I'll get to as we kind of progress further down here. But the most important thing is to start talking about getting comfortable with this on your finger and getting comfortable with intonation and vibrato and training your ear to hear the slide. So what I wanted to do today in this short lesson is talk about using we started with just like root, flat, third, and fifth. So if we're like kind of in a bluesy pentatonic world, we're starting there. But I want to kind of progress from there into what we talked about in the last lesson with intonation and vibrato. And I want to expand that and talk a little bit about phrasing using your root, your flat third, your fifth, and your seventh. So I briefly touched on this in the last lesson, but some cool things that you can do, and something that like people like Derek Trucks, he does this a lot and it's super soulful, but basically kind of going up and down those intervals within that scale. So basically, just taking those couple different notes and think about it like a singer. So if you can kind of wrap your head around using that slide in a vocal way, you'll start to feel more like a slide player. There's a lot of speed bumps, I feel like, that we all go over, and I still go over them because slide isn't... I only got into this a few years ago, but there's some speed bumps you're going to go over where you can't think completely like you think it with a pick in your hand. That's the thing too, is like playing slide, a lot of that comes from muting, and to make sure you're not hearing any other strings in there, which we can talk about in another video too. Mostly this stuff is to kind of propel you further to get comfortable with the slide itself and hearing a note. So take it, we're in the key of E, we're going to stick in E because that's where we started, but just take those notes and kind of mess around, and there's different like licks and things you can do. So if I start down here, so you can hear that there's melody in that. And that's the thing that we want to cultivate as a slide player. As you move through playing, to like get a looper and just do something like we talked about before with just put a 12 bar down. Right? Loop that and then work with those specific notes. And they're all, right here in the box shape that you would know. So these little bands. So you can see like the little pentatonic boxes, you can use those to stay in your comfort zone, but try to create a melody and try to just use those specific notes. So your root, your flat 3, your 5, and your 7. So the first thing that I did melody, 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 right? You got to kind of ingrain that in whatever it is you're working on. Be melodic when you practice. That's if there's any advice I can give, whether it's with a slide or with with your fingers. Be melodic. Go forth, slide away, and until next week, it's Mark Hopkins. I'll see you soon.